Most people believe that you're locked in until 59 and a half, that everything in your retirement account is untouchable until then. But that's not a rule. That's the default. There is an exit, and in fact, there are two exits. Most people just don't know they exist. The Rule of 55 and 72T distributions are actual legitimate early retirement strategies that give you penalty-free access to your 401k and IRA before age 59 and a half. And by the end of this video, you'll know how these work, the risks of using them, and if they're the right exit for you. Here's what I know from 20 years as an ER doctor. Sometimes you just need to get out, either on partial or full retirement. But you've been told that's not an option. Your retirement accounts, your IRA, your 401k are locked up until age 59 and a half. If you pull money out before then, you're hit with a 10% early withdrawal penalty on top of ordinary income tax. But there are two ways to exit without that penalty. First is IRS Section 72T, which allows you to take what are called substantially equal periodic payments, or SEPPs, from your IRA before age 59 and a half without a penalty. You still have to pay income tax, but no 10% penalty. This is not a loophole. It's a provision the IRS explicitly created for people who need early access to their retirement funds. It works on IRAs and 401k money that you've rolled over into an IRA after leaving an employer. So how does this actually work? Let's look at Thomas. He's 53, has $900,000 in an IRA, and he is burned out. He hears about 72T and he thinks he's found his way out. So let's run the numbers and follow Thomas through his journey. Now there's 3 IRS-approved calculation methods, and they produce slightly different payments. You have the fixed amortization, fixed annuitization, and required minimum distributions. RMD method is the only one that fluctuates year to year. Thomas looks at that amortization number, $47,000 a year, no penalty, and it feels like a real exit, so he picks it. What could go wrong? Well, as it turns out, quite a bit, and the risks stack on top of each other in a way most people don't see coming. I'm going to walk you through each one so you can see this plan in action. Before I get into the risks, healthcare costs are an important part of this equation and something most people don't model carefully enough before they pull the trigger on early retirement. I put together a complete early retirement healthcare guide that pairs directly with what we're covering today, and the link is in the description. Now, getting back to Thomas, the moment Thomas starts his SEPP at 53, he's committed to receiving those payments for 5 years or until age 59 and a half, whichever is longer. For Thomas, that's 6.5 years of fixed mandatory distributions, no matter what his life looks like in the meantime. Thomas thinks this sounds great, a steady, penalty-free paycheck. But that fixed payment is exactly the first problem with this plan. Let's see what happens in year 2. In year 2, Thomas encounters a problem he never saw coming. He gets an offer for a paid consulting gig that actually excites him. He doesn't need the full $47,000 that year. Why draw down his IRA when he doesn't need the money? He thinks, I'll just pause the payments while I try out this new gig. Well, he can't. If Thomas modifies his SEPP payments for any reason before the period ends, reduces them, pauses them, or stops them, the IRS retroactively applies a 10% penalty to every single payment that he's already received, plus interest. And it's not just the payment amount that has to stay fixed. Any contributions into the IRA or additional withdrawals beyond the scheduled SEPP payments, even something as routine as paying an advisor fee directly from this account, can disqualify the entire arrangement and trigger that same retroactive penalty. The account has to be completely untouched except for the exact scheduled distribution. Now let's go back to Thomas. He thinks this is not ideal. I've still got to take the $47,000 when I don't need it, but I've got a nice balance and the market is doing well. Well, that brings us to the next risk that can not only derail the SEPP payments, but his entire retirement. In year 3, the market drops 30%. Thomas's $900,000 IRA is now worth $630,000. A flexible retiree in this situation would cut spending, pause distributions, and wait for the recovery. But Thomas has no lever to pull. He still has to withdraw that $47,000 per year. He's selling depleted assets on a mandatory schedule with zero ability to reduce withdrawals. The account is shrinking faster than he projected, and there's nothing he can do about it. That's a significant problem with this strategy, and it's one most people simply don't think about going in. Your account value is not cash in the bank, it's stock values, and those fluctuate. Now, even if the market cooperates, there's still another consequence that may cost him hundreds of thousands in taxes. Roth conversions are often used as part of a tax reduction strategy. You would normally do these conversions in the early retirement years before Social Security kicks in, because those would be your lowest income years, and you would pay the tax on the conversions at the lower tax bracket. But Thomas already has $47,000 of SEPP hitting his return every year. That fills up his lower brackets, and the room he'd otherwise have to convert traditional IRA dollars at 12% or 22% is now compressed or gone for 6.5 years. That lost window doesn't show up on any single year's tax return, but over 20 or 30 years of retirement, it can add up significantly. Now, this next risk is completely invisible and a loss that Thomas may not even notice, even though it could amount to hundreds of thousands in his lifetime. Every dollar pulled out early is a dollar that is no longer compounding inside of a tax-advantaged account. At $47,000 per year for 6.5 years, Thomas is pulling over $300,000 out of an account that could have kept growing. At some point, you have to weigh what matters more to you, your freedom now or your long-term security. If the withdrawal is going to genuinely compromise your financial position 20 years from now, that's an important consideration to make before you commit. Think of 72T as an escape hatch on a plane. It exists, it works, but it's not reversible, and there is a real cost. If you're liking this content, hit the like button. It helps more people find this video before they make a decision they can't reverse. This next exit plan is far simpler and has all of the flexibility without the rigidity of the 72T. And that is a rule of 55. If you're 55 or older and you're currently employed or you've just separated from your employer, your current 401k may be accessible under the rule of 55. This is a special IRS provision that allows you to access your current 401k in or after the year you turn 55. Now, the key limitation is that you can only access your current 401k, not prior 401ks and not IRAs. So if you have a 401k, don't roll it over yet until you've eliminated this option. Not all 401k plans allow this, so you need to check your plan documents or ask your plan administrator. The rule of 55 is far more flexible than 72T. No lock-in period, no modification penalty. You can change your withdrawal amounts or choose not to take withdrawals. You can still work part-time or even return to work full-time. Some of the same drawbacks do exist. First, these are tax-deferred accounts, so those withdrawals are taxed as ordinary income and not as capital gains. And these are counted towards your modified adjusted gross income when calculating the ACA health insurance subsidies. And secondly, you are drawing down a tax-deferred account, which could be otherwise compounding. You will accumulate less over your lifetime, and you may even deplete your account sooner than you would want. So make sure to run the numbers with your financial planner or with the financial planning software to project different scenarios and decide if it would be safe to take these early withdrawals. If you decide these are not the options for you, don't worry. There are other ways to retire early that provide greater flexibility. In fact, these next options have no age restrictions, no lock-in periods or mandatory withdrawals, and they offer better tax treatment. If you're planning on an early retirement, you want to hear this next part. First is creating a taxable brokerage account. You've already paid taxes on the contributions, so you can withdraw that money anytime without taxes or penalties. The gains are taxed, but as capital gains, not as ordinary income. And of course, there's no restrictions on how much or when you withdraw from this account. If the market is down, you can withdraw less. If you have a big expense, you can withdraw more. You have complete control. If you have a taxable brokerage account, that is almost always your first source of bridge income before you touch IRA assets. Also, if you're withdrawing contributions, those withdrawals don't count towards your modified adjusted gross income, which is again what determines whether or not you receive health insurance subsidies under the Affordable Care Act. If you want to know how the ACA subsidies work, make sure you grab that healthcare guide from the link below. If you don't have a taxable brokerage account, there's another option. This next account can provide you with tax-free, penalty-free income for an early retirement at any age. A lot of people don't realize that the money you contribute to a Roth IRA, not the earnings, but your contributions, can be withdrawn at any age, tax and penalty free. If you have years of Roth contributions sitting in an account, those are accessible right now with no strings attached. Ideally, you want to leave your Roth account for last because it can grow tax-free. It's not subject to RMDs or required minimum distributions like your 401k or traditional IRA. But if you want to take some years off or you want to retire early, Roth contributions are an easy, clean source of income. Now, if you don't have those two accounts and you're looking for an option to ease into retirement, this next option is actually what I did. I hit a point in my career where I was burned out and I needed something to change, but I wasn't ready to walk away entirely. So I went part-time for a stretch. Then I transitioned to locum tenens, which gave me more control over my schedule and kept my retirement accounts intact. Even 2 or 3 years of part-time bridge income does something critical. It buys runway. If you can wait 2 or 3 years, and then even if you do take the 72T or SEPP payments, you have a much shorter commitment. Your 401k or IRA continues to compound in the meantime, and your Roth conversion window stays open. When none of the above are available or sufficient, no taxable brokerage, no Roth contributions to tap, no Rule of 55 eligibility, and you genuinely need IRA income before age 59 and a half, then 72T is your legitimate IRS-sanctioned path. But before you start those scheduled payments, you need to do this next part. Without this step, you could risk your entire portfolio. Before you start distributions, divide the account and apply the SEPP calculation only to the portion you actually need. For instance, in our earlier example, Thomas may put aside $300,000 in a specific IRA and then leave the rest in a separate IRA. This keeps you from accidentally making any other contributions or withdrawals from the designated account. And next, choose your calculation method carefully. The amortization method produces the highest payment, but it locks you in the hardest. The RMD method calculates based on your account balance and might provide more protection against market downturns. Make sure to work with a CPA or financial planner who has experience with 72T calculations. The IRS rules are precise. Errors, even small ones, can cost you a lot. And next, understand what your 401k withdrawals or SEPP income does to your taxes and your healthcare costs. Here's what I want you to take away from this. The escape hatch is real. Rule of 55 and 72T are legitimate IRS-approved pathways out of the trap. And now you understand it better than most. But the smartest move is almost never to go straight for the escape hatch. The question worth asking first is, do I have a regular exit door that I haven't tried yet? First, consider that taxable brokerage account, Roth contributions, or even part-time work, and then consider the Rule of 55. Any of those, if available, changes the math and preserves your flexibility. If 72T is the best path for you, go in with full information, split that IRA first, and get professional help on the calculation, and model what it does to your taxes and healthcare before you lock in a fixed payment for the next 5+ years. And that's exactly what I cover in this video here. I'll see you there next.